This is going to be a Jesus speaking video. As you probably know from the Way Out series or some other videos, I have a history of anxiety and depression, and now I'm doing quite well. But still, I need some teachings from God about these topics, and I'd love to give this teaching to you, but I'm afraid my explanation of it would be just like wrapping phrases around the truth that is way bigger, that is like multidimensional, and I'm just trying to patch expressions around it. So I will, as far as I can, let God speak through me. And I'm excited. And I know words are not enough to convey this truth, so don't really think about the words I'm saying. They might be not spot on. Just expose yourself to God. Just give yourself over to the presence of God, and He will communicate to you things that are way beyond your mind. So don't try to like grasp what I'm saying, because I might not be saying that but that well or that articulated, but there is a truth behind it that is about to transform you right now. So just lean back and rest and let God speak healing into you. When you have negative thoughts and feelings, you are so against them. You try to suppress them or heal them very fast or do something about them, but the point is to get over them as soon as possible because they are wrong and you don't want to tolerate them and you don't want to do anything with them. So you just find ways to not have them. And it is reasonable in a sense because you realize that this is not something I created you for, living in the bondage of wrong emotions and thoughts. This is not your true self, being entangled in this network of twisted feelings and emotions. And you are kind of right, a little bit right, that you are not meant to live under the oppression of those thoughts and feelings. But you also don't recognize how I created your soul to function. I created your soul in a way that it starts to have symptoms of negative feelings and thoughts when you believed some lie about yourself, consciously or unconsciously. So when you somehow believed something twisted about you, the world, or about me, at some point you might have the fruit of that negative belief, which is a bad feeling or thought. Let me give you an example. there is a nice afternoon. You could enjoy yourself. You have free time. Everything is ready for you to enjoy yourself. And you feel this numbness, this coldness, this gray filter over everything. And you might wonder, where does this bad feeling coming from? How to skip over it? But the truth of the matter is that you believe, and you have built a life on that false belief, that you are only valuable and useful when you sacrifice yourself and you give your all and you struggle and you perform high above expectations. And you believe that at a certain point of your life, consciously or unconsciously. And now it results in having terrible feelings when you could enjoy yourself. You might not realize the link between those two things, and you think, oh, I only have this bad feeling, I want to get over it and I will be fine. But I want you to recognize the whole system of false beliefs. I don't want to give you a patch over this wound. It's not like I help you erasing those bad feelings. I want to heal the core of them. And I want you to recognize how untrue their core is. So, these negative thoughts and feelings, as bad as they feel like, they are not that bad. Let me explain. They are not my punishment. They are not even my teaching materials. They are not like I give you something to learn from. I'm not giving you things you can suffer. However, this is a very good function of your soul that I've created, that every time you are destroying yourself with the negative beliefs, it results in pain, in painful feelings and thoughts, so that you can recognize it and stop believing that lie. So pain is actually a stop sign, an alarm signal. You believe something false. So when negative feelings and thoughts arise, don't jump over them. Don't forcefully heal them as if you could do so. Don't suppress them. Don't try to diminish them. Don't do anything about them. Just let them come to the surface and let them teach you about yourself. Let them teach about who you are not. Let them reveal themselves. Let them uncover themselves. Most of the lies work so well because they are in secret. You don't recognize the links between them. You just have a bad feeling and you think all you have is a bad feeling. You don't know why it's there and how this came and when you started to believe. Many times there is a backstory. For example, you weren't especially praised or acknowledged unless you made a very high achievement, when you outperformed everyone else. That's when you got awarded and rewarded and acknowledged, and you learned that this is how you become lovable. And this learning might have been unconscious. Still, it was a time when you learned this lie that you are only valuable when you give your everything. And when you let these feelings come to the surface, like this numbness and coldness on a nice day, you actually allow me to heal you, because those bad feelings make you recognize what you believed. And you might realize how you believed it and when, and what were the circumstances and what was the exact time. And they might be helpful, but it's not even necessary for you to recognize all the circumstances related to believing that lie. But it is necessary to recognize that you don't need to believe them anymore. That you are not only valuable when you outperform everyone else. The next time you feel that urge that, okay, I have to be better than everyone else, you can just stop and say, this is not who I am. This is not a personality trait. This is not what God made me to be. This is a lie I'm no longer agreeing with. And this is it. You might ask, how can I get rid of those false beliefs? You don't have to get rid of them. It's enough for you to see that this is not who you really are. The goal of you seeing those false mechanisms in yourself is not to be an expert at the functions of your false self and understanding all the aspects of it. The goal of letting it happen, letting the bad feelings shout and scream and rage, is that you see through them and not taking them so seriously, and you recognize that there is something truer to you than those feelings and lies you believed. So the first step is, or step 0, is when you allow the bad feelings and thoughts to come to the surface and you don't do anything with them. You just let me see them. And you let them teach about themselves and let them reveal their mechanisms to you and let them lead to the core false belief you agreed with. And then you are simply free to not agree with them. The habit of believing in them might be so strong that it feels impossible for you not to act on those beliefs. The next time you have the chance to outperform everyone, you don't feel like you are free not to do so. And it's okay. Sometimes it's a process to not believe in something. And it's all fine. I'm leading you through all of that, says Jesus. It's all fine. It's happening in my presence. This is why it's safe for you to let those bad feelings and thoughts come to the surface, because they are happening in my presence. I see them, and I'm leading your healing process. I'm leading you through all of that. So don't try to control your healing. I'm doing it. And it's enough to deal with the lie that's coming up. And do you know what's the lie you need to deal with now? It's so easy. It's right up in your face. You can't get over it. You can't jump over it. And it frustrates you. And you are trying to find the best tools to get over it. And this is not the point. The point is not to get over it. The point is allowing it to teach you what it can teach you. What comes to the surface is what you need to deal with. Like, the reason why you can't get over it is the sign that it is time for that painful feeling to lead you to its core and release that core belief that's causing that negative fruit in your life. So you're doing it right. Actually, it's requiring less action from your part, less intervention. You allow all the bad stuff to come to the surface. You allow to reveal themselves. You allow them to teach you about what lies you believed. And you allow me to replace those lies with truth. So your only task is not to resist this process. Thank you for not resisting it. That's all you can do about it. The rest is mine. The rest is mine, says Jesus. Amen.